ให้พี่ทำดีกว่านะคะเพราะนอกจากเธอจะไม่เหมาะสมทำให้เขาไม่มีค่าเธอยังไม่สามารถปกป้องเขาได้อีกถ้าอย่างนั้นสองขอเวลาอีกแค่2 อาทิตย์นะคะหลังจากนั้นสองจะไม่มาให้เขาเห็นหน้าอีกเลยค่ะฉันจะมาตกลงกับแกดีๆฉันก็เลยตัดสินใจให้แกคบกับเขาค่ะมีข้อแม้แกจะต้องทำให้เขารับรักแกให้ได้ภายใน2 อาทิตย์ถ้าแกทำไม่ได้ แกจะต้องยอมรับความจริงแล้วก็ตัดใจจากเขาซะ
ช่วงเวลาที่ผ่านมาพี่สองรู้สึกอะไรกับเพียงบ้างไหมรักเพียงบ้างไหม
ทำไมถึงถามแบบนี้
Welcome back, everyone. If you are like me, you probably spent the last hour staring at your screen in absolute silence, completely emotionally drained. We knew it was coming. It's the classic Episode 7 curse of Thai GL series. The penultimate episode where the writers decide to rip our hearts out, stomp on them, and leave us to dry until the finale.
คุณรู้จักเจ้าของโทรศัพท์ใช่ไหมครับ
คะ
พอดีเขาประสบอุบัติเหตุโดนรถชนครับ
ฮะ
But Chasing Love. Episode 7 didn't just give us standard drama, it gave us a masterclass in emotional trauma, courtesy of our resident hot nerd, Song, and the literal human embodiment of a golden retriever, Piang.
น้องเพียงบอกว่าคุณไม่ได้ชอบเขาที่ฉันเห็นมันตรงกันข้ามเลยนะคะแบบนี้ไม่ชอบแล้วเรียกว่าอะไรอะคะอย่าหนีหัวใจตัวเองดีกว่าค่ะ
Today, we are diving deep into how this episode took us from peak domestic bliss on a gorgeous getaway trip straight into the depths of a devastating breakup that left Piang saying the 3 worst words possible. I give up.
ถ้าคืนนี้อาเจียนหนักหรือปวดหัวก็รีบโทรมาบอกพี่ทันทีเลยนะ
แล้วพี่สองจะไม่มานอนด้วยกันจริงๆเหรอคะ
Before we unpack this absolute train wreck of feelings, smash that subscribe button and tell me in the comments. Are you currently team Song is an idiot? Or do you understand why her trauma is making her push Piang away? Let's get into it.
อากาศบริสุทธิ์แล้วก็วิวสวย
ตลกดีนะพี่ก็กำลังจะไปชวนเธอพอดี
ๆหมายความว่า
ไปด้วยกันนะ
Let's start with the good stuff, because honestly, the first half of this episode felt like total bait. The production team took us on this visually stunning trip, and for a second, it felt like a completely different show. It was sunshine, rainbows, and pure domestic healing.
พี่สองจำได้ไหมคะพ่อกับแม่เพียงเคยพามาดูทะเลหมอกมันคือที่นี่ละค่ะแต่ถึงไม่มีมันก็ยังสวยมากอยู่ดีนะคะ
Seeing Piang and Song in this setting really highlighted how far their dynamic has come since that original no-strings-attached one-night stand back in episode 1. Piang has been pursuing Song with this relentless puppy-like devotion, and in the first half of episode 7, it finally felt like Song was letting her guard down. And can we talk about the chemistry? The showrunners love to subvert our expectations. There's that incredibly tender moment where Piang playfully bites Song's earlobe. In any other series, that's the universal cue for a massive, passionate makeout session. But instead, Song just softly smiles and tells her to stop being naughty. It's these little, realistic nuances that make Namwan and Niall's acting so spectacular. It felt genuine, it felt grounded, and it made us believe that maybe, just maybe, they were going to beat the episode 7 curse. Piang has been put through the absolute ringer by her control-freak grandmother Duong, and seeing her just let loose, smile, and feel safe next to Song was everything we wanted. But as we all know, when a GL series gives you that much uninterrupted fluff in the first 30 minutes, you need to start preparing for impact. Enter the second half of the episode, where reality hits like a freight train. Song is a food researcher who likes logic, boundaries, and safety. She operates entirely on self-defense mechanisms. As an audience, we know she loves Piang. It is written all over her face every time Piang enters a room. But Song's internal trauma makes her believe that she isn't allowed to have this happiness. Or worse, that she'll eventually ruin it. So what does she do? She panics. Right when they are at their closest, Song brings up a timeline. She mentions a 2-week constraint, basically trying to put an expiration date on their happiness before it can even properly begin. Watching this scene was physically painful. Song thinks she is being practical and protecting both of them. But in reality, she's just being a coward. She is so terrified of the inevitable external pressure, especially knowing Piang is the company president's daughter, that she chooses to sabotage the relationship herself. It's a tragic defense mechanism. If I break it now, it won't hurt as bad when it falls apart later. But honey, you are already hurting her. The frustration from the fandom is totally justified here. Song completely miscalculated how much Piang was willing to fight for her. Piang didn't enter this relationship looking for a casual 2-week trial run. She threw her entire heart into it. And that brings us to the climax that shattered the entire timeline. When Song officially pulls back and says no, you can literally see the exact moment the light goes out in Piang's eyes. Namon's acting in this scene deserves an award. Piang doesn't scream, she doesn't throw a tantrum. Instead, she carries this heavy, quiet dignity. When she looks at Song and says she gives up, it's not out of anger, it's pure exhaustion. She's tired of being the only one holding open the door. She's tired of fighting a ghost inside Song's head. When Piang walks away and Song just lets her go, it's an absolute gut punch. Song stands there completely frozen by her own fear, realizing too late that her defense mechanisms just cost her the best thing that ever happened to her. All 3 couples in this show are currently down for the count, but Song and Piang's fallout feels the most tragic because it was entirely preventable if Song had just found the courage to be honest with herself. With only 1 episode left, the writers have left themselves a mountain to climb. How are they going to fix this hot mess in under an hour? We need Song to get her act together. We need Super Granny, Song's grandmother, to come back and talk some sense into everyone, and we need Piang to get the massive apology and the 1,000 hugs she deserves. Will we get a rushed happy ending, or are we staring down the barrel of a historically tragic finale? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you're still crying over Piang. Share it with your fellow Chasing Love fans, and I will see you all next week for the final breakdown.
Want more queer content? Then please subscribe and hit the notification bell.